Amy Lowe, the Lazy Northern Gardener. I am outside at my front yard on a busy road in my at my raised kitchen garden beds. They are still producing tomatoes and thyme and calendula and a couple other things, and cucumbers. But I did make room for some carrots and some lettuce. So I'm going to show you how quick it is and easy it is to be able to do this really easily at your garden. So let me show you what I've done here. There we go. I had put onions inside here and zucchini and a couple other things, radishes. And so I cleared it out when they were done and pulled the onions. And then I revitalized the soil. Composted manure, a couple inches, which is about, and I did this on both kitchen garden beds. These kitchen garden beds are 2 foot tall by 4 by 4 wide and long. So 4 by 4 beds that are 2 foot tall. And I revitalized the soil. And then today I'm going to plant some bib lettuce and some romaine lettuce and some escarole and some mixed lettuce, as well as some carrots. I've got a lot of them are going to be the Nantes coreless tomatoes. They're long. And for carrots, you need deep, loose soil that's very rich. Deep, loose soil that's very rich, and they like a lot of water. And these are going to be the short and sweet. This is for if you don't have a really deep soil. It's a little bit shallower on some of the sides is where I'm going to put those. And then I have some here that are new Carota, which I don't have a photo for. But carrot seeds are really, really small. And typically what people will do is they will plant carrot seeds in rows. They'll make rows and rows and rows of carrot seeds. They will water them. They will cover them with like cardboard or wood. And then they will water every day. And then the germination rate sometimes is great and sometimes isn't. But then they also have to go back and thin them. And if you've ever had to thin carrots in a hot summer day, it's not fun. But if you don't thin carrots, then they don't get to the biggest amount, the maximum diameter that they can. So if this carrot will get to a diameter of 1 inch, which is 1 finger, where your line is, if your finger, that's 1 inch. If this will get all the way to 1 inch in optimal conditions, if they're not thinned, they're only going to get to maybe 1/2 inch, or maybe they'll grow together. But they're also going to compete for nutrients and for water. So you can see these Nantes coreless. These are also pretty large. So you have to have space for your carrots. They're also very, very, very small seeds. Some people will scatter the seeds with some sand, like in a shaker, and they'll just shake them on, hoping that they'll distribute easily. And others will just do it by hand. They'll just kind of sprinkle. They'll rub their fingers together and sprinkle like that. But again, if they're too close together, you'll have to thin them, which is no fun to me. So what I do is I use carrot tape that I make at home. Here's an example. This is that, what was it, Kubota kind, whatever it is. I'm going to do carrot tape, and I have them on a diagonal, like one here, 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 there. Like I just stagger them, and there's 1 to 2 seeds. That's it for every spot that I have. You can make this carrot tape with, within 5 minutes maybe. And I can do this in the cold winter. I can do this when it's storming outside, no matter what. When I come out here, I just get to lay it and water it, and I'm good. So I'm going to show you how to do this real quick. Like I said, so let's pretend I just brought my stuff out. And let's see, I'm going to put lettuce back here, so I'll put the little carrots here. And all of carrots here. And there's a row over here. All I'm doing is basically just getting the big stuff out of the way. again, this is composted manure. I also added some more sand, some builder sand to it. So I marked them with the first letter. So this is the Nantes. You can take a strip. Whoops. Not a trip, a strip. And I can lay it right here. And then water it in. Here's a strip. And then I'll take some of the soil here. Over it a little bit. Can't get to it because I've got my... Oh, that's going to come out. There we go. Better access. Easier to get to. Alright, make sure you can see it. Yep, okay. So after I make a little row to lay them in, lay them down, cover them slightly with soil, just a little bit, and then I'll water it. And that row is planted. There's about 20 carrots there, right there. Let's get another, yeah, do another Nantes. Make sure the row is long enough. Carrots need moist and dark to germinate, and they take a long time to germinate. So to have to come out and water every day is annoying. This method keeps the seeds moist and keeps them in the shade so they can germinate. Some people will lay their carrot seeds on the soil and then water them, and the water gets washed away, or they washes the seeds away. This carrot tape keeps them in place. And you also can kind of get an idea about where you're planting them, but you can see the white outline just a little bit. And now these were going to be short and sweets over here. Okay, it's got to be short and sweet. Let me look for my alphabet on here. Yep, there it is. But I'm just going to do, and look at this. Maybe I don't want a whole row there. Maybe I just want part of it. So just tear it in half. It's not hard. You tear it in whatever pieces you need. And the strips I made were 2 foot long. You can make them any size you want to. You could even curve them if you want to. If you want to be decorative, go ahead. I'm going to put this one here toward the edge of the bed. And then I'll still get some sun. So you can see that. Oh yeah, you can see that. Still get some sun. But it is on the edge, because they're shorter anyway, which is fine. So if you decide not to use carrot tape, you're going to decide where you want to plant them first. And wet the soil first, and then scatter the seeds, press them down into the soil so they make good contact. Water one more time after they make good contact, and then cover them with like a 2x4 or a piece of cardboard or something. And you're going to have to lift that every single day to check, every single day. It might take 7 days, it might take 10 days before they germinate. Bye, Chief. But once they germinate, then take the covering off and just continue to water them. So I know where I put my strips of carrots. Now I'll get my lettuce seed out. And I'm going to put that in between the rows and all around. This is an organic all lettuce mix from Pennington. It says easy to grow, safe for bees. Okay, I like that. I like bees. So I will take this much. Yeah, that's good. That's good. On this side over here. And I'm going to sprinkle it up in here. I'm not concerned about the rows, because this kind of lettuce I can just cut and come again. And they're not going to interfere with the carrots either. Yeah, it looks good. Actually didn't use as much as I thought, so I'll put the rest of it in package. Okay. Lettuce seed is easy to get too. If you let it go to seed, if you let it bolt in the hot summer days, then it will give you seeds and you can collect them. And then you don't have to buy more lettuce seed. Which one was this? This is Escarole, Natacha. And the key for your seeds to germinate is actually to water them every day. Every day, every day. In the morning, every day. Keep them moist. And what that does is it softens up the seed kernel, the shell on the outsides of the seeds, so that the plant can come out. Alright, so I'm going to put some of this matches up in here. Just little bits. Just little bits in here. And over here. Now, if I wasn't explaining all this stuff to you, and I was just doing it, I probably would be done right now. But I want to make sure that you see how I do it. You can do it however you want to. You have your own way of doing it. That's fine. But this is how I do it. Now, those are all planted. And all I do is water. The lettuce seed is so small, I'm not concerned about pushing it into the ground. And the water will likely do that too. It'll probably push it into the ground anyway. The only concern I would have is if like birds decide to come by and get it. But for today, I'm not gonna cover it up. Spread it and go. And that bed is planted. That's it. So let's go to the other side. Done. Like I said, mine are right next to my driveway. So if I was waiting, let's see, there we go. Space, but it's big enough for lettuce and carrots, absolutely. I still have some dill in there. There's a lot of shade that comes in here in the afternoon, which is actually good for lettuces. It takes it longer for them to bolt. And carrots, the leaves, once the leaves start growing, are going to capture any sunlight that they can, and it's not going to be an issue either. Alright, so let's go this way with these. That could use the short one. Lettuce has super shallow roots, and carrots obviously go down deep, so they work well together. Carrots work really well for onions too, but we're not planting onions right now. We plant onions in the spring in our climate. So there. And the other part about not wanting to thin them is I don't want to have to be bending over in the garden all the time. And I mean, that's backbreaking and it's not fun to me. And if it's not fun, I don't do it. 1, 2, 3 strips. So that's 20, 40, 60 carrots as long as they all germinate. This is the Kubota. Was it Kubota? Kubota? What is it called? I forgot. Let me just double check. New Kuroda. New Kuroda. It's going to be a strip. And these two are the Nantes. And then the one over there is going to be the short one. The short and sweets. Here. And then I can take my lettuces. I'll try some romaine up in here. Where's my romaine? There it is. Okay. Now the romaine I can thin easy enough, and I could just use those for salads, those little bits that I thin. But with carrots, once you thin them, I mean, you could use the carrot tops, but it's still really, I don't know, to me, it's annoying. So I'll just make a little trench here, and I'll do the doing? Oh, romaine here, a little trench here, and I'll do some romaine up in here. They were saying, I have heard last year that romaine was $9 a bunch. So people can't afford to spend that much on lettuce. So I was bringing them in, and it really bothers me because a lot of the people in my Sunday school class are older, and they're on fixed incomes. They can't afford more nutritious food if it costs more money. So they were really excited to have that. And let's do the other side, and then I'll do some mixed. And see, I haven't covered them yet, but that's okay. You'll see. This is some more of the all lettuce mix. Sprinkle that on the edges. Some might say that this is too much to plant in one space. Maybe they're right, but you know what? By having them together in one area, they cool their roots. They capture the rain as it falls. They provide protection from the bugs because they're together and all that good stuff. So here's some mix up in here, and over here. And lettuce grows very, very easily and very short. Now the carrots, once the carrots come up, I can leave them in the ground over the winter, and I can just pull them as I want to use them. So hopefully, and I think they will. Let me just double check. There's carrots maturity dates. Oh, that's lettuce. Where are they? Where's my carrots? In my other pocket. Okay, carrot maturity dates. 68 days to harvest. And this one is 70 days to maturity. So this is August, what is it? I don't know, August 22nd. So 30 days would be September 22nd. Our first frost is October 15th. So that's 60 days. And then they actually taste better once there's a frost. They taste a little bit more sweet. All right, let's get this covered up. And it's not a science. I'm just taking these clumps that came out of the bag and breaking them up in here first. And after I cover them, I'm going to water them. And again, that's it. So again, if you were doing this while you were waiting for somebody to get to the car, you'd be done by now. It wouldn't take long at all, and you would be done planting a fall garden. You would have greens into the fall, which is like cold and sea season, and you would have carrots for the winter. I do like to tamp it down just a little bit so that the seeds all make contact with the ground, the soil. You know what? If lettuce grows up with the carrots, I'm not concerned about that. It's easy enough still to harvest them. The other part is I could move them. If things grew in the place I didn't want them to be, I can move them as little babies. So that's not even an issue at all. The biggest issue is getting them planted, doing it now, so that you're ready for them to grow when you want to have them. Should have made my chops a little bit deeper because the edges are coming up. But this carrot tape, I have detailed instructions with pictures and videos on how to make this carrot tape. I have it in my Etsy shop for you, and it's also in my stand store. I haven't visited those areas yet. So in the Etsy store and the stand store. Now come on here. I have to work around the camera. It's not the bed's fault. because we're in with the camera. Alright. That is so good. Alright. And water. I'm gonna put my water. And a great advantage of growing in raised beds is bunnies don't typically bother your crops. These are 2 foot. So it's harder for them to get up in there. I have seen some people with bunnies that make nests in the raised beds, but not very often. Because bunnies are kind of opportunistic. And the other part is, even if a bunny were to get up to the edge here, if he stood on their hind legs and got up here, he's only going to get the edge crops. He's not going to get to the insides. Go. All right. And that's it. So my 2 beds have carrots and lettuce in there now. I just have to remember to water every single day. And should be good. Have a good Thursday. Bye.